Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So this is the Huawei Mate 9 after the hype. So I've had this phone for about a week, and there are some things that I truly enjoy about it, and there are some things that I truly enjoy about it. I'm still trying to pan through and see if I can nitpick and find something wrong with this phone, but we're going to get into after the hype right now, so I can tell you how I really feel about this after about a week or so. Let's go. All right, so let's get to the skinny of this after the hype video. I do these on phones, so you already know how it goes. So this phone right here is a solid device. Enough times, I had enough times of judging a phone by what it does wrong, but you got to start looking at some phones. Some phones are just pleasing, and that's pretty much it. So this phone right here has a 5.9-inch display. It's a 1080p display. It has a 20 megapixel camera on the back with Leica technology, laser autofocus, dual LED tone flash. It's pretty much got it all. It's got an IR blaster. It's bringing the heat. That fingerprint reader back there is really small, but it is very accurate and very fast. This phone has 4 gigs of RAM, and it pushes an in-house processor from Huawei called the High Silicon Kirin 960. 4,000 milliamp hour battery in here is more than enough to push this through a day or two. So couple that with 4 gigs of RAM, you've got a performance powerhouse. This phone is holding back in no areas at all. Now, one thing I can say that I think if they would have went with a 2K display, the battery life would it would just be dramatically different. It would be a lot different, because I can definitely get at least 6 hours on every charge. And that's exactly what I'm getting. I'm kind of balancing out at the same. Some people have gotten like 8 and 9 hours, but for my usage, I'm a pretty heavy user. At 55% or 49% around there, I always have at least 3.5 hours of screen on time on every charge. I've done it multiple times. So the battery life on here is very consistent. I'm averaging more than 6 hours on every charge. It's just that simple. This thing has 64 gigs onboard storage, and it actually has an SD card. So you just won't have any problem with storage. And you can set the default storage to the internal, but it's not adaptive storage, but you can just have the data from your, like if you put like a big file on your phone, the data will go to the SD card. So it's not adaptive storage, but it'll store all the big files on the SD card if that's what you choose to set the SD card as internal. But 64 gigs of storage for me is way more than enough, because I use a lot of cloud storage, and I only put about 80 to 85, no more than 90 apps on my phones. So, I got a lot of free space. So after the hype, this is it for the Huawei Mate 9. This phone has been fantastic. It says that it weighs 190 grams, but it just doesn't feel like it. It feels really good in the hand. It's got a huge display, 5.9 inches, and it seems like it's edge to edge, but there is a little black border that runs around. But this phone is really, really solid, man. I've been trying to pick it apart and find things that I could kind of complain about. And the only thing that I could really come up with is that the headphone jack is on the top. I just prefer a bottom-mounted headphone jack. But that's perfectly fine. This phone has a dual speaker setup with one in the headset and the other one on the bottom there. It's a well-crafted machine. This is a nice upgrade from the Mate 8. I was actually going to get the Mate 8, but then when I went to CES and then I saw this and I played with it for a long time, I was like, I'm going home and I'm buying that phone. And it's going to be one of my daily drivers. And that's where it's been. Having this phone for about a week now, this after the hype is probably going to be a little different, because I'm really excited about this phone. I've shot videos with this phone. The cameras on here are fantastic. On the unboxing, I gave you a detailed walkthrough of the system, so I'm not going to do that again. But what I can tell you is there are some things about this phone that I actually really enjoy. So in Phone Manager, some of these things like this, you might, feel like, it's a gimmick. But in Phone Manager, I actually come in here, but not for this, but I come in here for this, and it's App Lock. With App Lock, you can actually lock applications prior to them opening. This isn't something that's new. I'm not saying this is new, but you can lock certain applications. So anything pretty much with shopping and credit cards and stuff like that, I have them locked. And I think that's a great feature. So even when you get into App Lock, it asks for your fingerprint. I think that's really good. And optimizing the device, you just go in and Samsung has something like this, and so does LG. But it'll optimize and clean up your phone and speed it back up. I go in there sometimes once every few days or so, because I've had it for about a week. So I've gone in every other day. I think I've gone in there and just done a quick cleanup. Now you can clear the partition cache to help really speed up your phone, but this phone is actually pretty good. And if you notice, I'm not running the Pixel launcher. I'm not running the Pixel launcher. I think I installed it though. I don't remember if I've even installed it. I think I did. Yeah, I think I did install it. Yeah, I did put it on here, but well, actually, no, I did. Oh, yeah, I did put it in here, but I haven't used it. So, I think I tested it out for a second and put it back because I'm so used to their launcher. It's impressive. So the Huawei Mate 9 has just blown me away. Battery life is good. It's kind of everything you would want in a smartphone. It's got Nougat on here already. It's an octa-core processor, 2.4 gigahertz on one and 1.8 on the other. That's an A7 and an A53, A73 and an A53 Cortex if you just got to be techie about it. This runs a Mali G71 MP8. So basically gaming on here is going to be really solid. I don't game, but gaming on here can be really good. And maybe I'll give you a gaming review later. But this camera does have optical image stabilization on the back. It has two cameras, a 12 megapixel and a main shooter, which is a 20 megapixel. It has 2x zoom, 2.2 aperture on there. The Leica optics is just fantastic, and you know when I'm posting a photo from this phone because I have the watermark. You guys know I like watermarks with my name or the camera that I'm using if it has the option. And you can see all the photos that I've posted with this phone because it says Leica optics on there. And it's got face detection, a laser autofocus, dual LED tone flash. It shoots in 4K. It shoots in 60 frames per second for 1080p. And the front camera is extremely impressive. It's a 1.9 aperture, 8 megapixel. And I shot a video with the front camera on here, and people were like, "Whoa!" You know, I didn't edit the audio, I didn't do anything, and it works great. The fact that it has stereo speakers, fantastic. Now it does have USB version 2 Type C 1.0, so you know. You get the latest and greatest if that's what you want to call it. Now it has what's called supercharge. Now I do have a video that's going to post soon about this, probably this weekend or tomorrow, I don't know, or later tonight. But the supercharge on here charges this phone so fast. Example I can give is it charges the phone to 100 in like an hour and 15 minutes. But it gets to 95 really fast. Then it slows down to a really slow trickle charge, like what most turbochargers and superchargers do on phones, because you don't want the phone to heat up too much. So it gets to 95 really fast. If you plug this phone in for about 15 minutes, it'll jump at least 40%. It's just true. It's amazing. It's fast. I mean, power it off, put it on, you'll get a huge jump in battery. You can just pull it off and go on about your day. Now, this does have an ultra power saving mode, which I don't talk about in the supercharge video, but it does have it, so you can enable this. And I like, oh wait, nope, I don't want to do a screen record. I like that it has this ultra power saving mode because theirs looks a lot better than a lot of people. And I can actually edit all of these applications. I can take them all off. I have the option to turn off what I want to turn off. And this is the way I have it set up right now. Got my Bible app, Twitter, Chrome, messaging phone, and YouTube. So that's really, really sweet, man. And it lasts for a long time on battery. So that's a huge plus. I mean, there's just a lot about this phone that I really, really like, and that's why it's my daily driver. The operating system, some people will say, oh man, you know, the operating system is lame. You know, the operating system it's not up to par. Well, it's funny, an iPhone person would say that. I just think that's hilarious that an iPhone person would say that, because this is pretty much the setup of an iPhone, except it's better because I can move things around the way I want to move them around. So that's kind of strange to me, but this phone has proven itself to me to be a very powerhouse device. I mean, I have not put it down since I've had it, man. I even went back in, I was this close to buying a ceramic white one. I mean, it's that good. So, you know, if you're looking for a good phone at a good price, you know, $599 for this phone is definitely a great deal. Now, some people might say, oh, Jay, it doesn't have a 2K display. Well, I say to this. I say that to this to that. $599 for this is a good price. If you get this phone, you would think that it was an AMOLED display. I kid you not. I mean, the phone, the display is just that gorgeous. I can't put into words and tell a person, hey, it's a fantastic phone, and I think you'll enjoy it. You won't want to buy another phone. You can tell a person that, but whether they believe you or not, that's a different story. Because sometimes a phone reviewer can come across as a person, who thinks they know everything, or just because they've got a bunch of phones and they've done it for a long time. Totally not my attitude. I'm still open for learning. And I was actually kind of skeptical about getting this, but once I got my hands on with it, I was like, whoa, this is a must-have. Must-have in the catalog. It's a big phone with a small footprint, 5.9 inches. It's a flat screen. I mean, it appears to be edge to edge. Well, you can see it here. It appears to be edge to edge. And that is just all the more reason why I like it. Now, this wallpaper is a dark wallpaper, and this is an IPS display. So you would think that it wouldn't show that well, or the blacks wouldn't be that black, but just kind of take a look around. This is a fantastic screen. That if you're turned off by 1080p screens, I have a lot of phones that have great 1080p display screens, and they're really good. I mean, they're really, really nice. So I used to say, well, I need a 2K screen at one point, but I don't need a 2K screen because companies like this are bringing out big phones in small packages with very, very, very nice screens. And another example is the ZTE Z Max Pro. That screen has held its own against every phone I've put it up against. So after the hype for this phone is an easy one, man. I'm really still hyped. Well, there you have it. After the hype for the Huawei Mate 9, this is a phenomenal device, and I would not steer you wrong. I don't get paid by Huawei or any of the other companies that you see me doing reviews on the phones. This is a great phone. I kid you not. The screen on here, I'm looking at the viewfinder. I know the camera's right there, but I'm looking at the viewfinder, and this screen is gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. It's amazing how beautiful this screen is. And, you wouldn't think that a 1080p display could look like this. In person, you gotta see this phone. You have to see it. It's that good. So, after the hype, once again, for the Huawei Mate 9, am I hyped about it? Have I found anything that I just can't stand about it? Is there anything that it's doing wrong at this point? No. My only gripe, and it's a petty gripe, which I have on pretty much all my phones, I want the headphone jack at the bottom. I mean, this thing has an IR black. I mean, it's loaded up, man. I'm just looking at it like, whoa, comes in different colors. Now, here's a plus for some of you people if you were not an early adopter. So you can actually, this is just the L29 model, which is basically the international model, but they just added the Play Store, and there's no kind of extra bloatware from like the other international models. But if you wanted this phone and you didn't want to get like just the limit to 2 colors that they have at Best Buy and everything right now, just buy the international version because they're all selling for the same price now. Prior to this releasing in the US, all the colors were selling at ridiculous prices. Well, now you can grab the ceramic white, which is one that I really want to try out. Shout out to Night Tech. The ceramic white and the mocha brown or mocha gold or whatever. Oh my gosh, I really wanted. I played with those at CES, and I actually filmed one of my videos. The video I started off about this phone CES is actually the mocha gold. The light was reflecting as I was recording, but it was actually that mocha brown, and it is just gorgeous. So you can actually get all of those now for $5.99, and they all work with full LTE. They're all unlocked. And their models come with a tempered glass in the box. I've seen some unboxings, and the tempered glass for the international ones comes in the box. I'm actually going to peel this screen protector off and put on my tempered glass once it gets here this week. So you'll see lots of case videos for this phone. Shout out to the OEMs that hooked me up with some cases, but I actually purchased Re-Earth or Rinky had a fire sale on their cases for the Mate 9, and so I bought 2 of them. Bought their new color, which is like it's called ink black, and then I got the smoke. So I told a lot of people who had a Mate 9 about it, so hopefully you caught that sale. They were 50% off. So if you didn't, I don't know, if it's still going on. The code is on my Twitter, Mr. J.L. Williams. So you'll have to search there if you want to try to still catch it. It was from Amazon, but I doubt that it's still going on because that was days ago. But nonetheless, you'll see lots of case reviews on here from some of your favorite OEMs. And a lot of cases I bought them myself because I didn't reach out to my contacts in time. And I thought, man, I should have reached out to them first, but I don't mind spending a little bit. I got two Rinky cases for $10. Can't beat that. And then I bought some other cases. I actually found a case that has one of my favorite colors, the lime green. It's a nice gray and lime green case. That might sound like it's going to turn you off, but just wait until you see the video. And I've got multiple tempered glasses coming in, so I'll be doing a giveaway for some tempered glasses, more than likely just for the Mate 9 exclusively. So try to look for that. I'll do some case giveaways as well. So it's your man Jay Will. After the hype for this bad boy, I am still hyped, and yes, it is my daily driver. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.